When I married Mehwish, I thought I'd found my forever. We'd been together for 9 years, had a beautiful 7-year-old son, and a life I believed was stable and secure. I worked tirelessly to build a future for us, running my own small business while carefully saving for our son's education and future. Every spare rupee I earned, I invested into a trust fund under our son's name, something I believed no one could ever touch. But I was wrong. I didn't know that while I was working long hours and sacrificing everything to provide for my family, Mehwish was slowly dismantling everything behind my back. It started with small changes. She became distant, distracted, glued to her phone at odd hours. She'd make excuses to go out late, saying she was meeting friends or running errands. I trusted her. I had no reason not to. But deep down, something felt off. Then one night, I found the first crack in her story. I came home early from work, and she wasn't there. Her phone was charging on the side table, buzzing repeatedly with notifications. My instincts screamed at me to look, and when I did, my entire world shattered. There were messages, hundreds of them, between her and a man named Samir. "Don't worry, babe. Once you get the money, we'll leave this place forever. I can't wait to start our new life. Just be patient. Trust me, he'll never see it coming." Money? Leaving? A new life? I scrolled further and found references to my son's trust fund. They were planning to steal the money I'd been saving for years and run away together. I felt sick. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through more texts, uncovering their entire plan. Mehwish had already transferred part of the funds into a hidden account. She was planning to take the rest within a week, grab our son, and vanish with her lover. In that moment, I felt anger like I'd never felt before. But I didn't act immediately. I knew that if I confronted her now, she'd deny everything, twist the story, maybe even take our son and disappear. No. If she was planning betrayal, I was going to outsmart her at her own game. I spent the next few days preparing my revenge. The first step was securing the remaining money in the trust fund. I contacted the bank, explained that I suspected fraud, and froze all outgoing transfers without alerting her. I also opened a separate account under my name, ensuring she couldn't touch a single rupee more. Then, I hired a private investigator. Within 4 days, he had everything. Pictures of Mehwish meeting Samir at hotels, videos of them shopping together, receipts from expensive restaurants, all paid from the stolen trust fund. I felt rage boiling inside me, but I forced myself to stay calm because the perfect revenge takes patience. Exactly 1 week later, the day she planned to drain the account, I set my trap. I pretended I was going out of town for a business meeting. I kissed her goodbye in the morning like everything was normal, then drove straight to the bank and coordinated with security. That afternoon, Mehwish walked in with Samir, thinking I was miles away. I watched from the manager's office through the glass wall as she confidently approached the teller to finalize the transfer. What she didn't know was that the police were already waiting. The moment she handed over her ID, 2 officers walked up and placed her under arrest for attempted fraud and theft. Samir tried to run, but he didn't make it 2 steps before he was tackled and handcuffed. I stepped out of the office and walked straight up to her. Her eyes widened when she saw me standing there. "You think you could steal from our son and get away with it?" I said quietly, so only she could hear. Her face went pale. "Please, it's not what you think." "Oh, it's exactly what I think." I held up the folder of evidence and the messages, the receipts, the videos. "You planned this for months. You wanted to ruin our son's future for this loser?" I glanced at Samir, who couldn't even look me in the eye. The officers led them both away, but I wasn't done. That night, I filed for divorce on the grounds of fraud and infidelity. My lawyer was ruthless. We presented every piece of evidence in court: her texts, her bank transfers, the PI's report. The judge didn't just grant me full custody of our son. Mehwish was legally barred from accessing any of his funds ever again. Samir tried to plead with her afterward, but when he realized she had no money left and no leverage, he disappeared from her life completely. Within a month, she was left with nothing. No trust fund, no lover, no son, no home. a few weeks. Later, she showed up at my door. She looked broken. Please, she begged. I made a mistake. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I wanted more. And Nadia told me Samir could give it to me. I stared at her for a long moment before replying. You didn't just betray me, Mehwish. You betrayed our son. You tried to steal his future. That's something I'll never forgive. I closed the door in her face and never looked back. It's been a year since then. My business has grown, my son is thriving, and his trust fund is untouched, safe and secure, exactly where it belongs. As for Mehwish, last I heard, she's living in a small rented apartment, struggling to make ends meet. Samir blocked her. Long ago. The woman who thought she could outsmart me now spends her days regretting every choice she made. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't get violent. I didn't even need to humiliate her publicly. I let her destroy herself. And honestly, that was the most brutal revenge I could have given her.